My friends, welcome to the first episode of Fireside Chat, and Happy New Year. My name is Skylar, and I am optimistic about our future. In this podcast, I hope to accomplish what President Franklin D. Roosevelt did around 80 years ago, with his radio broadcast in quelling American fears in a world which perpetuates misinformation and hatred of the other. My goal is to unite us in our common interest, to bring us together rather than divide, and help enhance our daily lives. I want to think critically about every facet of our lives. I want to demonstrate another way, a way we can lift up our fellow Americans instead of tearing one another down. Commercial media and politicians want to keep us divided, so we fight amongst ourselves, so we don't think about the important work which needs to be done. But look around. Your family members, friends, neighbors, and colleagues, we are all interconnected. A colorful quilt of people who hold many different beliefs and values. Our differences make us strong, and when we listen to understand one another, even when we don't always agree, that makes us even stronger. E pluribus unum, out of many, one. That is the motto of the United States. Let's never let manipulative entities cast a shadow on who we are. We are America. The podcast will be organized around certain themes. We will start with the general theme, and then in subsequent episodes explore the idea further. The first theme we will explore is accomplishing goals in the new year. Other themes throughout the year will focus on concepts such as happiness, financial anxiety, contentious policy issues, and identity. I will often have guests to help discuss these issues, and I'd like to introduce my co-host today. This is my sister, Coolin.
Hello, everyone.
So I thought that we would introduce ourselves first and then discuss our hopes for the podcast in 2019, and then we'll be talking about our first issue, and that is goal setting in the new year, and we'll talk about what the next few episodes will look like. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Keelan. I am obviously Skylar's little sister. I am a millennial, which is important to share everyone's separate beliefs throughout generations, which some of the guests that we'll have on the show will be of older generations, younger generations. We'll cover everybody, all spectrums. I'm still on my journey to find myself in life, where my sister is in a more stable part of her life with a job and moving in with her boyfriend and doing things that I am not to yet.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm the kind of person who has planned out my life to a T and kind of accomplished what I set out to do. So I'm 26 and I'm an attorney and am really interested in policy issues, which is why I wanted to start this podcast. But yeah, so we have two different perspectives on life and our own personal journeys, which I think is really important, especially for the next few episodes when it comes to setting goals, because my goals are going to look very different from my sister's goals, and your goals are going to look very different from anybody else's goals as well. So now we can discuss our hopes for the podcast. And I want it to, I want the podcast core to be about mitigating fear in American society, but there's a lot of fear being thrown at people. So even though that's like the central theme of the podcast, it's a fairly broad in its goal, I suppose, because people are afraid of a lot of different things. So there's a lot of different things that we can cover on the podcast to say it's okay. Maybe this isn't as bad as everyone is saying that it is, and that will be okay at the end of the day.
Yes, so going into the new year, people typically make New Year's resolutions. We are going to go into depth on maybe some resolutions that you have chosen for yourself and some of what we have chosen for ourselves to become better humans and Americans in 2019. So over the next several weeks, we will be posting podcasts on different resolutions, different subjects, breaking down into the subcategories.
Yeah, so there's 8 major types of goals that we're going to be discussing over the next 8 episodes. So the first one is going to be a favorite. I think everyone tries to live healthier lives in the new year, and that is a huge resolution. So the first one we'll be discussing are health and fitness goals. And then the second would be vocational goals, and that's like career, income producing jobs or hobbies, those kind of things.
The third episode will be covering financial goals, so we'll go in depth on how you can better budget in the new year, how you can work on finances better with your spouse, and how you can invest. You can even start budgeting for Christmas in January of 2019. And our fourth episode will be focused on relationship goals and
Hashtag relationship goals.
Hashtag relationship goals, which I have plenty of experience in relationships, and lots of insight to give on how you can better your own relationship.
Yeah, and this also includes social and networking goals. So not just with a spouse or romantic partner, but also with your friends and your social networks. Like, I know I've been a terrible friend sometimes, and I'm always wondering, like, why isn't that person contacting me when I should be the one reaching out? And sometimes you can just feel isolated. So that's a fairly broad umbrella. And then the next one, which is kind of related, are family goals, but I think is important to have as a separate goal category because families can be complicated, and your goals are going to depend on who your family members are. Unlike relationship goals, you get to choose those people. Your family,
you have to put up with no matter what.
Or maybe not, and we'll talk about that. So the 6th episode will be intellectual goals, which is a little simpler. It's about self-improvement through education and reading books and that kind of thing. The 7th is spiritual goals, so we'll be talking about whether you come from a religious perspective or just trying to be more mindful and do meditation. So we'll be talking about a few different goals that you can incorporate into your life from a spiritual perspective. And the last one is environmental, and this can be anything from what is our impact on the planet from an environmental perspective to just making your personal space clean and stress-free. So those are our 8 episodes, the next 8 episodes that we will be posting over the course of. So generally, we're going to be asking the question, how can we do and be better? This is about self-improvement. It's about getting things done and accomplishing what we want to accomplish in 2019 and the new year. And not just by the time that it's 2020, but how can we actually incorporate and accomplish these goals every single day through daily practice? We are creating habits and living a certain lifestyle to make. That will be our ultimate question going forward. How can we do and be better? So I'd like to end this week's podcast with a modified quote from FDR's first Fireside Chat radio broadcast. There is an element in the readjustment of our system more important than currency, more important than gold, and that is the confidence of the people. Confidence and courage are the essentials of success in carrying out our plan. People must have faith. You must not be stampeded by rumors or guesses. Let us unite in banishing fear. We have provided the machinery to restore our system. It is up to you to support and make it work. It is your problem no less than it is mine. Together, we cannot fail.
If you like what we're doing here, please consider becoming a supporter of the show. The Fireside Chat podcast is part of a new entertainment hub called The Fox Hollow. We'll have shows about money, gaming, music, legal comedy, and more on YouTube. And we'll post new Fireside Chat episodes every Monday. If you'd like to ask a question or submit a public comment to be shared on the podcast, please email us at thefoxhollowhub@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support the podcast, please donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/thefoxhollow. It'll be linked in the bio below. Please follow us on Instagram at thefoxhollow.yt.
Also, if you haven't checked out Robinhood yet, you definitely should. Robinhood is an online investing and banking app. They give the power back to the people by not charging fees or commissions when you go to buy and sell stocks. Use this referral link to get started. share.robinhood.com/SCHUYLG7. You will receive one free share of a random stock, and you have the chance to win some big name investments like Apple and Berkshire Hathaway. By using this referral code, both you, the listener, and myself will receive a random share of stock. This is a great way to give back while also getting a gift in return. We post a new podcast on Mondays, so thank you so much for listening and see you next week. Happy New Year!